Skipton, the happiest place in Yorkshire on International Happiness Day. Let's find out how we can make sure that we are all smiling today for the International Day of Happiness. Lisa Clifford is a Yorkshire-based performance coach, inspirational speaker, and she's one of the happiest people I know. Are you feeling happy this morning, Lisa?
I am, thank you.
Good. Well, it's lovely to speak to you. You're always happy, aren't you, really? On a day of international happiness, tell us something like this. Is it a useful thing for us to stop and think about happiness and how to be happy?
It is, because one of the things that people don't realise is our unconscious mind's job is to keep us safe and protected, and happiness is something that we have to actively work upon. So, when people say, well, I just woke up and I just didn't feel happy this morning, so then therefore the whole day is of that tone. So we don't really realise that happiness is something that the ingredient we have to add to our lives. It's not a natural state.
That's interesting. How do we do that? As you know, I'm a fairly typical Yorkshireman. I don't buy into all this new age nonsense, but I like to be positive and have happiness. So if I'm not into, I don't know, meditating and all that kind of thing, how can I create happiness in my life?
Well, there's a few things. There's things to stop doing and things to start doing. So there's the tiny little things that erode our happiness. One is where we diminish ourselves in our own minds and say, well, it's just me, it's only me, I'll go last, or I'll have what's left over. That kind of diminishes our happiness over a period of time. And then the other thing to start doing is to start really connecting with being in the present. I mean, I know it sounds, like
it sounds a bit new age, doesn't it? Yeah,
but it really isn't. If you think about life, here we go, deep. I've not even had any wine.
Yeah.
If we think about life, it's happening in this moment right now. When we start thinking too far ahead, imagining things that are happening in the future, we tend to imagine things that are not going to go well rather than imagining them going well. So when we do that, that also diminishes our happiness. So if we are going to leap out of this moment right now and think about the future, the least we can do for ourselves is imagine it going perfectly well, the way you'd love it to go. So all of it is in our mind, in what we choose to think and what we choose to believe. It's not something that happens upon us or to us. It starts from within us.
Is that? I mean, it's also like positive thinking, all that kind of thing. Is the word envisioning? Is that something that we need to be doing? Is envisioning ourselves, if we're going to think about the future, just envision ourselves being happy?
Well, yes. I mean, I always, when I'm working with people in companies, I'm always saying, how do you, not only what outcomes you want, but how do you want to feel doing it? Happy might be one of the things, in control, empowered, strong, natural, charismatic. So including happy in it is important. Now, here's a crazy thing. If we've only got a few minutes, here's a crazy thing that people will think, no, that's one of those cheesy things to do, but it honestly works. And I'm not into cheesy things. Is to walk. I mean, I'm laughing at myself because I think it really works. It is to walk around smiling, because it lifts your spirit. I mean, at the very least, try it in the car or on the bus or walking around the house. But when you walk around smiling, you trigger your mind to remember to be happy.
I like that. When I used to sell pizzas, we were trained to smile when we answered the phone, and it's something that I do to this day, because I think you can hear a smile in someone's voice, can't you?
Well, you can hear it on the radio. Well, when I sit across you, you are you are smiling. You're on your feet. You've got your energy flowing. Try doing that. Try coming across that way without smiling, and you genuinely sound and come across as though you are happy. And in that moment, you are.
Do you know what? As much as I make fun of you for all this new age thinking and being in the moment and all that, I'm totally with you. I've completely got it. Do you know what? That sounds brilliant. And there's nothing better to spread than happiness. I say we need a lot more of it. Lisa, as ever, lovely to speak to you. Enjoy the International Day of Happiness, my friend.
Thank you, darling. You too.
Lisa Clifford, she is an inspirational speaker and one of the happiest people that I know. Spread a little happiness this morning.